going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? One Eye Bri back from the PT channel to talk about The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 10, and Episode 9, and the season finale. Some information going around, breakdown, discussion, spoilers, all that good stuff. Obviously, spoiler warning if you don't want to know this information, you're not up to date of the show, the series, or you just don't want to know as of Season 8, Episode 9, Episode 10, and all that stuff. Spoiler warning. Now, for those who want to talk about it and discuss it and are up to date, we got some good information here as always, guys. But first, if you can, join our family, our PT family, Walking Dead family. It's simple. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button to become a valued member of our group, of our channel. We do prizes, giveaways, and stuff like that. To be eligible, you got to be a subscriber, and I hope you do. Now, the first look for episode 810 is at the grave of Karl. Michonne, Rick are at Alexandria. They finished burying Karl. Rick takes Karl's gun and puts it on the stick cross part right there. Michonne is clearing out walkers. Rick, this is clearly symbolizing Rick putting his gun down, listening to Karl, and just trying to work things out with Negan. He hesitates, he thinks about it, he puts the gun on there, and then he's like, no, I'm not there yet. So he takes the gun off and takes it with him, and he's not there just yet, but it's clearly in his mind that he wants to obey the last wishes of Karl. He's just not there yet. Michonne is taking walkers out left and right with her katana. More and more walkers are coming into Alexandria, and that forces Rick and Michonne to get some supplies and get in the burn van and leave. We don't see that part, we just see them leaving the house, but that's most likely what happens. Here's the scene that we saw online. It's been out for a week or so now, and this walker's face gets ripped apart. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Rick and Michonne are most likely putting out fires around Alexandria, literally, with the fire extinguishers or on a gazebo, and then they're forced to leave Alexandria, of course, like I said before. But before that, Rick gets a radio from one of the dead saviors. It might have been the one Michonne cut with the sword before she went down into the sewers. So that's how Rick gets the radio most likely and contacts Negan. So to me, that's how Rick gets the radio to contact Negan, how they can go back and forth and set up a meeting or something, that Rick's coming for Negan still. And that's what symbolizes by the gun being put on the grave, that he's not there yet. He's still coming after Negan. Alexandria is getting overrun by walkers. Michonne sees the blue handprints of paint by Judith and Karl. It still made it there after the attack. I know people were worried about that, if the house was going to be destroyed, but obviously it wasn't. The blue paint will be there, and it'll be a nice callback always to Karl and Judith. See the handprints. We'll see how big Judith becomes throughout the series. Michonne goes inside Rick's house, and Rick is putting stuff in a bag. And if you look at the bag, it's not the best coloring by any means, but that, to me, is definitely the orange backpack. And if you know this channel, you know my previous videos, you know that I have a theory about the cursed orange backpack. And yeah, it's kind of funny, but it's kind of legit. Everywhere that orange backpack goes, death surrounds it, for the wearer or for people around them. So that's not good news in my eyes that he's bringing the orange backpack. And I know people are like, it's just a coincidence, it doesn't happen. Are you telling me after years and years of being in Alexandria and making runs and finding that they couldn't find other bags? Clearly the bag has symbolism around it, especially how they got the bag way back in season 3. Go watch it, see it. I see a connection. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. If you do and you agree with me, let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with the orange backpack theory? Rick's taking it with him. Does that mean there's going to be more death around it? Of course there is, because war is still going to be around there. To me, that makes sense, and then that's where the end of the opening is. But Rick and Michonne most likely get to the bird van. This is from teasers and promos. I put it together just to think it makes sense that they're trying to get out of there. I would think that they're going to get in the bird van and get away and go towards the Scavengers or Hilltop, but I think they go to a field at first. Maybe the van breaks down, or they stop for a second because Rick is getting upset, or some conversation with Michonne makes them stop, and Rick's got to clear his mind or get away from something for a second, and he's got to read the note from Karl. Most likely that's what he's looking at here. He has the note. He probably didn't read it yet. Hopefully he reads it out loud and we get to see the contents of it and what it is. But Rick will always have Karl on his mind. I know Karl is a fan favorite for a lot of people, and he's not going to be around anymore, but he will always be around. He's part of the Walking Dead family. If he's there in character or flashback or whatever, he's still going to be around, that's for sure. But I'm sure Rick reads the note in episode 810, and I'm just excited to see and interested to see what happens with it. But clearly Rick has a radio now, and he's going to contact Negan, because you know Rick is still pissed at Negan for attacking Alexandria. He's going to blame Negan for some of this. There's no way that he's going to let Negan off the hook yet. probably at the very end of the season, but not right now. We're only on episode 810. We got 7 more episodes, including this one, but Rick is clearly yelling at Negan in the teasers, the promos, the trailers, and it makes sense that Rick is still pissed. I'm interested to see when and how they meet up, because he's not just going to go into the sanctuary. He's probably going to go to the Scavengers first, because we know some of the Scavenger information of this episode 810 and 811 most likely. But Negan is talking to Rick here. What's going to happen to me? You are next. You know, it's interesting to see. What do you think happens with Negan and Rick in the series, in the season 9? What happens? I think that Negan's going to get captured and not killed by Rick. I'll talk about that more in a second towards the end of the video. We have some information about that. But clearly Simon goes to the Scavengers. We broke down the teaser in the preview for this episode. Negan sends Simon to the Scavengers to kill one person. He's not going to do that. He's not going to listen to Negan. He's going to disobey Negan, which is going to cause some problems, that's for sure. This is like the Simon show now. He's like, hey, I'm here to kill you. You're going to be out. He leaves Jadis alive. I wonder if it carries over into episode 811 as well, so we'll see if it's in 2 episodes or all in episode 810. But clearly the word is that Simon goes in and shoots Tamiel, then Brion, and then the Saviors kill all the rest of the Scavengers because Jadis is not apologizing to Simon and causing problems, and Simon doesn't like the disobedience, even though he's disobeying Negan. And there's going to be some problems with that for sure later in the season. But clearly Rick and Michonne go to the Scavengers, most likely after Simon was there, after Simon and the Saviors killed all the Scavengers except for Jadis. Jadis most likely would be the lone survivor is what we're seeing from the trailers. We have that in a bunch of different videos, but the Scavengers will be gone. They're going to not talk, be weird, except for Jadis will be around for how long? What do you think happens to her? Does she become an Alexandrian? Does she kill herself? Does Rick give her mercy? Does Rick kill her? Does something happen else? But clearly Rick and Michonne are running from the Scavengers that are all walkers now, going after them. They're climbing up the mountain of trash, probably going to talk to Jadis or just get away, and then they find Jadis there, but Jadis goes up and she's safe up there too, but Michonne's looking there and maybe she sees other walkers or sees Jadis on the other side or something. But clearly there's going to be some interaction with Jadis by Rick and Michonne in either this episode or the next episode or both. We'll see what happens. Now back in episode 809, did you catch the big cat connection with Karl and Siddiq now? Because it was Karl and Michonne's back in season 4. Nice callback. I kind of wish it was a Kit Kat, but I guess they don't have the rights to that, so it's the big cat. So that's a nice callback to better times with Michonne and Karl. Now let's talk about this for a second. We had a whole breakdown of this in another video. Definitely check that out. And more people are commenting and asking this question to me on Instagram. Does Rick have something in his right hand? To me, he does not. He's got a bloody right hand and he's got some blood on his shirt. He also has an indentation in his thigh a little bit, maybe some blood, maybe his right thigh femur bone is broken, but it looks like there is a butcher's knife or a knife in his right hand. But to me, that's just his gun handle. It just looks weird because that's clearly his gun holster on his right side, and it just looks like he has a knife in there. I don't think he'll lose his hand. I don't think that he has a knife in his hand. He definitely has some wound on his right side. So I think either it's the comic connection with the arrow going in his body from, you know what I'm talking about if you know the comics, or it's just a fight with Negan in the season 8 finale. It's definitely connected with the season 8 finale in my eyes. And Rick will most likely need a doctor. Who's a doctor in training? Siddiq. He wasn't a certified doctor, a medical doctor, a licensed doctor. He was a resident or a fellow or someone in training at that point before the zombie apocalypse started, but he's qualified to be a doctor. Residents can treat patients and do everything there. They just don't have a license yet. So Siddiq may save Rick. He could save Negan. He could do a little bit of both, but we'll see. Siddiq coming into the picture may save Rick's life. Now, I still see people saying that Karl could still be alive, and they're not believing it, and we didn't see it happen. He's clearly dead. He shot himself. That's what this was. We didn't see it on camera, just like we didn't see the Lori death that Karl shot Lori. But he's not there. This is Karl's grave. That's Karl underneath the sheet. So don't buy into anybody saying that Karl's still alive. They're having hope. They're giving false hope again, just like they were giving false hope that he was immune. I'm sorry to break it to you guys. Karl is gone from the show. He's not coming back, maybe in a flashback form or something, or flash forward or something of a world that could have been or prior to his death, but he's not going to come around and be part of the show anymore. And it's a shame, but that's the way it goes. That's my take on episode 810, the opening, couple minutes of it, and episode 809 of the different topics. So there you go. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the PT channel, the Walking Dead community Facebook page and a group. My book series, guys, Fight for Us, is going strong. I've had people ask me about it. You can get it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Kindle versions. There's my 5 books available now. Book 6 will be available in a couple weeks, probably mid-March. Thank you guys for watching. The PT channel, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter at the PT channel, Walking Dead mystery boxes. We got a lot of good stuff going on, guys. Join our family, our Walking Dead family at the PT channel, and become a valued member, a PT peep. It's easy. All you got to do is subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, stay in the know, get notifications. We got prizes, giveaways, and quizzes. And to win, you got to be a subscriber to be eligible to win. Thank you guys for watching. I can't say it enough. I appreciate everything you do. And remember, guys, you got to make some left turns before you make a right one.